watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
To understand this, you have to go back to what young brother here referred to as the house Negro and the field Negro. Back during slavery, there was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro said, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house niggers running around here.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So I want to talk about something that's a little different, a little off topic than the natural boxing and other sports that I cover. But I just want to touch on this situation with Dak Prescott and EA Sports Madden taking Colin Kaepernick's name out of the game, out of a song, and then trying to apologize, trying to say that they made a mistake. They didn't realize what they were doing. Of course they knew what they were doing. Dak Prescott taking up and covering for Jerry Jones, whom stated that whoever takes a knee for injustice, black players that would take a knee, they will be cut. Then he changed that to any player that takes a knee will be cut. And everybody's toes will be on the white line, is what Jerry Jones had to say. Dak Prescott came to his rescue, defended him, saying that he doesn't believe that taking a knee does anything. Basically stating to the fact that it's old and we have to find a new way to do something. It's run its course. You know, it hasn't run its course. There's still young black minorities, Hispanics, black, being injusticely killed, you know, being racially profiled. There's no justice taking place in these situations. There's no solution in sight to what's taking place. Every other day, we're getting another minority, whether that be black or Hispanic, black or brown, however you want to, identify it. You know, every other day you turn on a social media site, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and you see another unarmed black or brown, black or Hispanic being unjustifiably murdered by the people who are supposed to serve and protect the communities. We know about the Tamia Rices. We know about the Trayvon Martins. We know about the Eric Garners And the list goes on and on and on. My personal favorite is Ricky McCargo, who happens to be a family member of mine. This cannot go without notice. These things cannot go without being exploited. It's just like I exploit the situation with, to a lesser degree, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua in the sport of boxing for the contradictions, the lies, and we want to see the best fight the best, and we want. So basically, what we're doing is we want justice for the situation because we want to see the best fight the best, and we don't want it to go unpunished. We don't want it to go unnoticed that there's contradiction, lies, and so on. That's to a lesser degree, but on a higher degree, people are losing their lives. Their kids that's losing their lives, and there's no justice taking place for these situations. You could give back money if you stole money. You could give back jewelry if you stole jewelry. You know, you could give back material things, but you cannot give a man, when you steal a man's life, when you steal a child's life, you can't give it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And then to go without justice in a situation, and the situation being justified, and these officers are being put on leave of absence, suspended with pay. So in reality, they're on vacation. It's like they on paid leave. They're on vacation. And when you can't give something back, such as a person's life, it's on the highest scale, and it needs to be a light flashed on it. So no, Dak Prescott, when you say that Jerry Jones is correct in this situation, when you stand by Jerry Jones, who obviously we lose sight of what's obvious, what's really going on, and it's the injustice, and the focus has become the national anthem and the standing and the kneeling. But the actual injustice, the actual actions that is taking place is being overlooked in these situations, and the light is being shined on the national anthem and the disrespect towards the national anthem, which happens to be a national anthem that is was written by a guy who was racist, and he wrote it based off of how do you keep your slaves. So there was nothing good created about it. It was created in blood and vein, and that's what people choose to fight for. And we must do better for our youth, for the future. And then you get the LeBron James of the world, who's spending his hard-earned money, who's probably the greatest athlete of all times. In my eyes, he's now surpassed the likes of Muhammad Ali. I know there's a debate going on between himself and Michael Jordan, that being LeBron James. But that's on the court. Who was the better basketball player? But there's no question in my mind who was the best athlete. Who's the greater athlete? And I don't know Michael Jordan personally, but who's the greater human being? At this point in time, I really don't think LeBron James has an equal at this moment. We see the likes of Floyd Mayweather spending $18 million on a watch. $18 million on a watch. He could build schools just like LeBron James is building in his community. He could do the same thing, but he'd rather spend it on something that carries no value with the soul and the spirit. Material things. You could touch people's soul. You could touch people's spirit. You could touch people's lives with that money. And not material. But when I say touch their soul, I mean touch their soul. You could help them in their lives. You could help their mentalities. You could help their outcomes, so to speak. $18 million on the watch. LeBron James is building schools. He's sending his kids to college. These kids that he don't know. He's guaranteeing them scholarships. So at this point in time, yeah, I don't see LeBron having an equal as the greatest athlete of all time. Now, you could debate if he's the greatest basketball player on the court between himself and Michael Jordan. But as far as the greatest athlete of all time, one of the greatest human beings of all time. And now nobody's perfect. But we don't hear about scandals and schemes and scams and drug abuse and alcohol abuse and strip club with LeBron James. We just don't see it. We don't hear it. And that's not by accident. That's by his doing. He's very careful in his approach. And as well as Colin Kaepernick. You know, we live in a time where we don't live in the time of the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, the great ancestors, but we do live in the time of LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick. Now, I don't worship a human being, but we need to give praise where praise is due. And these two gentlemen put it all on the line for their communities, for the betterment of their own people, for the betterment of their race, for the well-being of other people. So they use their platforms for greater use. And it should be celebrated. And I'm pretty sure at this point in time they don't do it for celebrations. I don't know them personally, but they don't do it for celebrations. But they should be celebrated. And they must be protected. So when we get EA Sports, Madden doing things such as taking Colin Kaepernick's name out of a verse and pretending that they didn't know and they made a mistake, or we get Dak Prescott coming out and standing up for a guy who's obviously has an issue with his players, black players, that be taking a knee and disrespecting the flag, and they will lose their jobs should they do so. We see the president, Donald Trump, coming out and bashing LeBron James when he's supposed to be the president of the greatest nation in the world. He should have bigger things to be thinking about than an athlete and what he's doing in his community, or what he's doing on somebody's platform, or the interview he's doing. And he's on social media. You know, we must protect these people. We must protect the Colin Kaepernicks, the LeBron James of the world. They must be protected. And we must stand up for them. And we must not let things go unpunished, such as EA Sports having such actions, such as police officers killing a young black youth, young black Hispanics, and there be no justice. And then we get the athletes such as Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James standing up for them, and you get other black athletes who do the total opposite, who choose to stand up for what's not right. They choose not to stand up for what's right, but what's not right. So that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Y'all already know what it is, man. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Make sure you like and share these videos. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. That's all I got. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.